And just like that, baby, we officially live on the official Wado podcast, back with another episode, and I got family in the building, Mr. Mike Webster. How you doing, big dog?
I'm good, man. How are you, brother?
I'm great, baby. For the culture, please tell the people who you represent and what you got going on.
For sure, man. First of all, man, I appreciate you.
Oh, listen. No. As you can tell, I appreciate you, sir. Come on now.
That's what's up, man. But no, man, for the culture, Mr. Bet on You himself. Basically, we here. I mean, we train, player development, youth leagues, you name it. We do it all, man. We try to inspire, empower, and elevate each and every individual. You don't have to play basketball because it's the game of life. So this is what we're about.
I love that. And man, like I said, guys, I'm trying to bring more basketball to the channel, more basketball content. You guys know I'm a lifelong hooper. This guy I've been hooping with my whole life ever since I can remember, bro. Probably like 17, 15, 16 years old. You were always the OG, Mike. This was Lefty Mike, okay, really in the building. So let me a little bit about your background story. Where were you born and where did you grow up hooping?
For sure, man. I'm a Florida guy, 100%. But my family, my background is Jamaican. So, you know,
I read, okay, the yard, man.
Oxtails, you know.
I love it.
But, you know, no, for real. For me, growing up in the city of like West Palm Beach, rough. It wasn't easy. My reflection was trying to fit in instead of standing out because of just what was going on the east side, the west side. I was on the west side first, so I did not know that west and the east were beefing with each other. So when I moved on the west side, that's where that dog mentality kind of came in because I had to defend something that really wasn't mine. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
So,
yeah.
So, I mean, it just, you know, growing up in the city really taught me how to get through a lot of things, though. You know, it was a poor area, but at the same time, it had a lot of potential as far as finding out who you are. You know what I'm saying? You find those gems. So, I ended up living on, I want to say like Windsor Avenue, North Terrace, Greenwood, that area. I'm 43rd all day.
Let's go. He's representing, baby.
So, I mean, again, picking up the game of basketball it didn't happen for me till late. So my sophomore year.
Wow.
Yeah, the first time ever playing basketball my sophomore year. However, I tried out 8th grade. Coach Mitchell, shout out to you. He told me to give up because he was like, yo, you're just not good.
Really?
So I was like,
was your high school a good basketball program?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I got kicked out of middle school because I was giving so much problems.
Wow.
And then I ended up going to an alternative.
Wow.
So when I got there, I realized, okay, this is your last straw. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do? So Coach Leonard Banks saw me. He saw me. He was like, yo, man, you should play basketball. I'm like, hey, you crazy. What was my last, encounter?
Yeah.
Give up. So I ended up just lifting weights. I was always by myself lifting weights. And then what happened was they ended up talking me into doing it. First day I tried out, I quit because I'm like, yo, listen, this is tough, man. Suicides, 17s, it just wasn't for me. And I was outside, so I wasn't even in the gym. So I ended up quitting that. They got to my mom, told her, get to him, see if you can do it. So I ended up doing it. Now, however, I will say this to anybody, any kid, anybody who's doing any sport, like the reason why I choose Bet on You is because, again, it ain't even about the people that surround you. They're negative. If they're negative, don't even worry about it. You just got to bet on yourself. So my sophomore year, I played basketball. I did track. I even did weightlifting.
Wow.
Right? I was the first African-American to take the school to state for weightlifting.
Dang.
Right?
Big Mike. Okay,
don't get me
Big
wrong.
Mike.
I came in last place, though.
It don't matter, baby. We on the billboard now.
So I did good in track. I think I got MVP in track. I got most improved in basketball, and I got athlete of the year. So I had a free trip on the school to the Bahamas because of, I was
all the
athlete of the
accolades,
year.
yeah.
So understanding that, it's really Bet on You. It's on the back of all our merch, and I really mean that because it's just not for me. Like it could be for anybody. It doesn't matter what nobody say to you, And after that, I had to move. So that was the time where I was like, dang, I got to start over. I go to Palm Beach Gardens first, and then I ended up going to, I went to Palm Beach Gardens. I did my thing. I made the team. I lost my best friend to violence.
Wow.
That was another dip in my career. Then I went to Centennial. It was a different culture. It was
definitely
different.
Coming from there.
And I ended up, man, really honestly just finishing out my career there. I got a scholarship to go to ASA. I had a few of them, but I wasn't mature enough. I can really say that I wasn't mature enough to go straight to college because I had an immature type of mindset. So I worked on my game for a year. I worked. I got a scholarship to go play in Brooklyn. I signed that. Short-lived. And went to Indian River, played for the hometown.
Yeah.
Short-lived. I had a look from FAU. It was so crazy, man. I had a look. They were very interested. I didn't take that. End up going over to Spain for a tryout originally, right? Go for a tryout, and I'm like, man, this is great. You know, I'm doing great. Coach come over to me. He was like, hey, man, we're going to play in one of the biggest tournaments in Spain, and we want you to come over here and play. Like, all right, cool. So I played. We did our thing. We won. Okay, we won. They tried to jip us, but we won.
Yeah.
I mean? For anybody who's a father, like, man, I say this. Listen, please motivate your kids, man. Like, stay there, be with them. My dad was there, but he really wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I got on the phone with my son, and my son was just like, hey, Mike, look. He was like, hey, Dad. I'm sorry. He was like, hey, Dad, look. When you coming home? I said, I'll be home in like 5 days. He started crying. He's like, I want you home. I miss you. And when I got on the plane that day, the 4 days after, I realized my career was up because I had to make a decision, you know? So, I mean, then, of course, you know, the player development, my guy, Tim. Shout out to my guy, Tim. Shout out to my wife, for sure. Both you guys. They told me, this like, yo, why don't you coach? I remember Tim told me this. This was like 2014, 2015. He's like, man, you should train kids. I'm like, yo, you crazy. I'm like, why you keep telling me this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And he was like, yo, you got a gift. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? So he was like, man, look, bro, I think you should do it. I put it on the back burner. I'm not doing that, you know? So I tried out for the G League. I left that out. They didn't take me, but they wanted me to go to Phoenix. It was so crazy, bro. And it was like, look, if you go to Phoenix, we got no room for you. If you go to Phoenix, you're good. Like, we know somebody over there. I think Anthony Goldwire was over there. So I was like, all right, no problem.
The real journey.
You know? And guess what? There was a hurricane coming to Florida. No flights were going out.
Right.
So, you know, that's just really it, man. And FTC came about with just my grandfather passing. I was done playing. And something just happened. My wife told me, she was like, hey, you should definitely do player development. I think you're great. You got patience. And I was like, nah, I'm good. She was like, well, you trained somebody and they did all right. And I said, who? She was like, you. I was like, oh. All right.
Didn't even expect it. Wow.
You know, so here I am. You know?
And I feel like a lot of players or ex-players, a lot of people just go into coaching to be the head coach of a team. So you never thought about being a coach. And I think a lot of people didn't even know about being a player development coach. So is that two separate ideas, two separate mindsets in your opinion, a coach and a player development coach?
Sure, but it's not that far off, I don't think, my opinion. Player development is depends on who you're with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's so many different guys out there, and I do say this respectfully. Shout out to every player development out there in the St. Lucie, just worldwide.
Everybody.
We love it, right? Depending on how you're teaching, like if you're teaching more of a team set, then yeah, sure. Like, but if you're teaching more individual, which is, again, there's really no right and wrong. You know what I mean? It just depends on what the athlete wants, or or not even what they want, what they need. But yeah, I think it does. I mean, you're teaching the game, you're inspiring, you're building confidence, instilling confidence, and you're pushing them. I mean, as long as it's not going away from what the game is demanding, if it's not applying to the game, then I think it's something you can compare. It's comparable, 100%.
Before we go too deep on training and basketball, can you talk about your family at all, your brothers, Mike? Because anybody in St. Lucie County, you've probably played against the Websters, if it's not one, two, maybe all three of them. So speak about the brothers. Were you the start of basketball in your family, it sounds like?
Yeah, I mean...
Because I'll be honest, Mike, I thought you guys were just pristine, fucking oiled machine of basketball players, that the Websters is how they do it. Their pops, uncles, somebody's training them with a regiment. They used to... That's what it looked like from the outside, Mike, okay? Just letting you know, okay? He talked about Centennial, some of them Titans. This is a PSL boy, so we didn't become friends until later on in life, but...
Okay.
Fill us in, Mike.
Sure. My oldest brother, one of my oldest brothers, Brandon, man, that's my guy right there. Like, that's my guy. Shout out to you, bro. That's my guy. Like, he was like he was like the one that we go to. You know, I still go to him like, yo, bro, I got this white
big
shirt.
bro.
I got this black shirt. I got these shoes, what they look like. You know, tell me how I'm fly. He'd be like, yeah, you fly, bro. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him. He was a track star.
Wow.
Bro can move. You know what I'm talking about? He can move. I get goosebumps, man. He can move. You feel me? He was the fastest person on the block. He beat everybody. I was like, damn, like,
that's all you needed back in the day. If you was fast, you had the best girl and you were the coolest kid.
I'm telling you. Then he was an artist, so he can draw. Like, so here's how he inspired me, though. He don't even know this, though. This is the first time I'm saying this. Like, watching him being like the fastest, then he draws a picture, right? And then he draws a picture in art, and then they take this picture and they hang it up in the Palm Beach International Airport. So we go to check this dude's artwork out. So come on, man. Like, I'm like, dang, it ain't really everybody would say it's competing. It's not. He was just inspiring me, though.
That's right.
So I'm like, dang, okay, I got these bad grades, but he got these straight A's, though. So I got to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. So when he inspired me, he's the track guy. I picked up basketball, and it trickled down to like Patrick and Max because they were like, I want to do it too, but I just kind of put them through the fire. So technically speaking, if you want to talk about like player development, it started when Patrick and Max was like 7th, 8th grade. So I don't really know what year that was, but yeah, they were going through it.
You were their coach.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that.
That's because, like, listen, like I said, Mike, this is crazy to me because hearing Mike's story, but I'm also going to tell you the story from someone outside looking in at Mike Webster. Because I looked up to you, dog, for a long time.
Oh, wow, okay.
I finally might have caught up to him later on in the end, dog, but for a long time I was looking up to Mike. And I noticed no matter if we were at LA, a local gym, a civic center, a men's league, Mike was always on his own terms. Bet on yourself. He was always in your own game. He was on the side working on his own reps, getting his handles different. Everyone's warming up, but Mike's warming up for a purpose, for a reason. I noticed that, bro. So how early did you take basketball more serious than just we going to hoop?
That's a great question. I took it serious. Honestly, I mean, when I was at Gold Coast Community, again, it was a family-oriented school. So, but then it was also neighborhood rivals, you know, gang members.
Wow.
So what I had to do was I had to lock in a certain way, like a different way. And you speak purpose. Well, everything has a purpose in life. So you try to pertain everything from life to the game because it is the game of life, right?
That's right.
So my grades had to change because they were all Fs, right? Showing up to class on time. Not talking back to the teachers.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, self-accountability, I hold myself accountable. You get, you know, things like that. So it happened early. I just took it serious because I knew that I wasn't getting the support from certain family members that I really looked up to, but they didn't too much care for me. So I had to just I watched my mom do it. My mom, she nursing school. She had to give up nursing school for me and my brother. And at the time, it was just me and my brother, and she had to give up nursing school. So I saw the hurt. You know what I'm saying? You see the sacrifice, and you say, man, damn, like, it's me now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's me now. What am I going to do at the time? I get the same 24 hours as everybody else gets, so what's the excuse, you know? So, yeah, man, I mean, just being honest, early, I had to say my sophomore year, I really took it serious. Like, my first time ever playing, you know, it was always bet on you. You know, as a competitor, you don't take getting beat, you know, lightly. So
No way.
What I started to learn was the movements. Because I always say this, if you're a great offensive player, you know how to play some defense.
Yeah.
If you're a great defensive player, you know how to play some offense. Because you should be watching for certain things, right? So it ended up being that way for me. I like getting bumped, getting pushed. I'm a contact guy. You can punch me in the nose on purpose, and I'm thinking it's accident.
Yeah,
we're competing here, right? So I'm really tough on the defensive end. Like I love that, you know.
I give you a little secret. I used to tell people when they were playing against you, like Mike wants you to bump him. Mike wants that contact. So when he goes up, back off his ass.
You know what though? Bro?
Outsmart him a little bit. Because, Mike, you were the type of player that if you were dribbling next to somebody, you weren't going to wait for them to come get you. You were into them.
Yeah.
Quick.
Hell yeah. Because, man, listen.
The way to play.
Listen, sometimes it's just get to the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, if I can hit you before you knock me off balance, I won this because I just need a little bit of airspace. But it's just, you know how it is because you don't let Y fool you. He was hooping, okay? Like, flat out.
At one point.
Flat out hooping. I'm talking about, like, if he's gathering 2 steps and he's on his way to the basket, get out the way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Straight up. You know what I mean? So,
and a lot of my stuff, Mike, was mindset. I was always pretty good, but later on in life, I tore all my ligaments out of my ankle after college. Couldn't walk for 2 months. Once I learned how to walk again, that's when I really got mad. Really was pushing to really be a good hooper. Got to bounce back. It was my jumping legs. So once I got good again, I was like, all right, now it's time. And in my opinion, there wasn't ever any extra layup line or any extra drills that I did to unlock something. I was still shot the same. I was a dog more. I unlocked it. I was okay with that. My confidence was finally where it should be.
Yeah.
So my question to you, Mike, is even in college, in the NCAA tournament, we played against Duncan Robinson. They beat us. Before the game, you weren't telling me shit. I don't care how good he is. You haven't seen Wado yet.
Right.
After they beat us, good job, sir. Good to play with you.
For sure.
But I had the mindset. For you, Mike, when you run into a player that has the intangibles, is a good player, but he's lacking that self-confidence, what do you do to instill that in them?
On the player development side?
Yes.
If he's lacking
Basically a player that I was. Good player, but he's just not willing to say, I'm going to take this shot because I need to take this shot. Doesn't have that self-confidence.
Right. Simplicity. I always say simplicity. We do the things that we do every day. You just, words. Hey, man, hey, young fella, keep going, man. You're going to be okay. They hear that a couple of times, then you see him start rolling in, and you'll see the body language change. Hey, Rome wasn't built in a day. This is not a race. It's a marathon. You know what that means? That it ain't about how fast you're going.
Yeah.
It's about us, right? Never abandon technique. So you still always want to be that voice, right? Hey, it's all good. Because sometimes, you just said it, lacking confidence. We don't know who we're getting that day. So if I'm hard on you and if you just came from outside and was just even tougher, you're not going to want to come back. Because where's your outlet?
Right.
This is supposed to be a game where we let everything out. So when it comes to confidence, oh yeah, we just words, solid words. Hey man, you can't create a drill that's gonna build confidence, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, maybe that's 50-50 for some. Okay, I can't speak for some. I can only speak for me. If you're talking just words, oh man, listen, young fella, you did all right today. All right, tomorrow we got some more stuff we're gonna get into. But you know what? You look pretty solid.
Yeah.
Then they start to tell you about what? Different journeys, different things that, man, you know, my coach is telling me this and this. All right, that's cool, man. He have a point, but guess what? Today, it didn't even matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to go ahead and just build them. That's it. Build them.
Mike, what is your opinion on AAU? I have real mixed feelings on it, brother, because I liked it at first, but I think it's been a real reason of why basketball's kind of gotten watered down these days. What's your thoughts on AAU?
Sure. I mean, AAU it's great if it means something. All right, live period. You know, where the kids are going to benefit. Now, if it's just to play, then no, you're wasting your time as far as, of course, and money. Yeah, because it is expensive though.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, I'm more on, hey, let's go ahead and turn this summer into a boot camp. Let's turn it into some real work.
Yeah.
Because you got to also remember, you got to go back to high school or you got to go back to your respective middle school.
Yes.
Whatever you did in the summer, your body of work is going to be what's accounted for. So if you just been getting game reps and again, there was no corrections, I'm big on details.
Right.
So if there's no corrections,
It's not a lot of standard in AAU.
yeah, you just pretty much got in shape a little bit.
Yeah.
Depends on your playing time too. So I mean, it's 50-50. If it's like you're going and you're playing like in made hoops, EYBL on the radar, there may be more out there, but
Yeah, there's
just,
some big leagues,
you know,
yeah, for sure.
then sure, man.
And at
go
that
ahead.
point, I think your kid is already a different kind of person who we're talking. I think this question more so for the parents out there, because like we've gotten away from let them go hoop at the park.
Yeah.
You know, we want to pay this money for this team, but at the end of the day, and I'm only speaking on results. When I see kids that are out in AAU, they look real good. They're doing a lot of cool stuff, cool highlight films. Everybody's got a camera these days.
100%.
When they come to public school, they don't know how to dribble anymore. All the fundamentals went out the window. Is it because the lights are a little bit more bright? Is it because everybody's watching one game? You have a coach yelling at you? You know, what changed in my opinion? So I don't even like the false confidence AAU sometimes give kids, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. Again, I mean, if they're coming back from the summer and they lost everything, you might need to change a little bit of your scenery, just to be honest. You know, I mean, this is not a knock on no coach or anything, but once you confiscate somebody's summer, and you're wanting to just run games, you're hurting that kid.
Yeah.
You know, you're hurting the whole team of kids, because now when they come back and they want to, for the culture or anybody else in the area here, right, who does do training or anything like that, we have to hit the reset button. And that ain't enough time, because you know when high school season come around, you in the gym with 100 and something kids now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I mean, I would, if I had to say anything, and it is what it is. If you're AAU and you're a coach, you're doing AAU. I mean, I would focus more on the individuals. You know what I mean? Not the individuals, but more so the player development. Even if it's a team development, it doesn't matter.
Are you a fan of a young? Because all this is young kids. If you're somebody, you're gonna be who you are. But are you a fan of the kids doing multiple sports? Don't just stay on basketball all year round. You're a fan of go play golf, do a little something else.
Yeah. I like it. Well, I take that back. It depends on, because you know, you're going to know your athletes. I got a kid now. He plays basketball, but I think he's solid at track.
Wow.
I'm like, yo, I think you need to do both, because you're going to learn how to control your speed, because right now he's just one speed.
Gotcha.
So if you're going to learn how to control, and you're going to be fine. Now that, yeah, because it's like, man, you're gonna need a different technique here. Maybe I can't teach it. But if you're just telling the kids just go play a sport, I mean, I guess, I wouldn't, but I would be more on the, if you want to, let's say a kid come to you and say, hey, I used to play baseball.
Yeah.
All right, man, go do your thing. Like, you know, you ain't got nothing going on, you know, you get in some shape, you know what I mean?
Right.
If a kid say he played football, yeah, football and basketball, just don't get hurt, bro.
Yeah, some sports just don't correlate. I got you on that.
Just don't get hurt, you know.
Now, on FTC, man, can you shout out, what does Big Dave have to do with for the culture, man? Shout out to Big Dave.
Shout out to Big Dave, man. That's my brody, Dr.
And
Dave.
why in the building, okay.
For sure.
Come on.
You know it. Why, definitely. Dave, man, Dave is one of our, I'm trying to find the words, man. You know when somebody's so great, you so many things coming around, you can't put it out?
Absolutely.
Dave is like that. That's that big brother right there, man. That's gonna come in and give you that knowledge. You know what I mean? He's the guy that comes in. He talks to the kids. He works out with the kids. He puts them. He's super detailed. You know. So if I'm and again, when I always say this, I'm very authentic. I'm transparent.
Let's go.
I can't catch everything. So Dave or myself, if Dave's training, hey man, stay low on that. Hey, when you get to the basket, make sure you high off the glass. That's how we kind of work off each other a little bit. And we always talk. We had a talk today too. He's just been busy because he's back in the school system. He's taking care of some stuff. But no, man, Dave is that's my brody for sure.
Shout out to Dave, man, for
Big
life.
shout out, Dr. Dave. You know what I mean? You probably
Question I always like to ask every business owner, entrepreneur, personal trainer. Mike, can you describe a great day and a bad day?
Now, if you're talking like that, then okay, I can answer that. A good day is training. A good day is you're getting up, everything runs smooth that day. Bookings, kids showing up, you're working out, you know, all the things that you think of before you start, right? Oh, this is going to be great. You know, you have an idea. You're like, oh, this, you know, you can name tons of things.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine. But the problem now is you might grow too fast. And if you're inexperienced, and this happened to me, I have no shame saying that. Like, when you grow too fast and you take on too much, you then when you look back, you have so much to fix. You have so much to correct. It could take a toll on you, because it's not as fast as you took it on. It takes forever to fix it.
Yeah.
So I mean, the biggest thing too is just staying true to you. Is rough. I can share this with you. My first client was $15 a session, and my overhead was $48.
Wow.
I did that for 6 months.
Wow.
So, trenches, betting on you, I stand on that. You see what I'm saying?
Another question I always like to ask, I'll kind of flip it a little bit for you here. So, you're not really worried about Instagram followers like a lot of the rappers are, so I've asked them this. So, but at the end of the day, personal trainer, he's helping these kids as a business. Got to make some money. Mike, would you rather have an additional $5,000 right now, or the chance to be involved with 500 kids in their development throughout life in the basketball career?
5,000, please. I'm joking.
Some will, Mike. You never know. There's no wrong answers, baby.
No. I'm 500 all day. Sometimes I throw out free things all the time, but people don't know because they don't ask.
Yeah.
I throw it out like, hey man, somebody, and this is not an invite because I don't want nobody in my inbox telling me, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying though, man, I'm so committed to this. It's not about the money. I care so much about the kids' personal development, as far as just overall, that I want to look. And again, here at For the Culture, bro, I don't care if they don't make it to the NBA. I don't care if they don't play a lick of college basketball. You know what I care about? Is that, again, if they make it, I'm happy. If they go to college and they graduate and they be successful, whether it's a licensed plumber or an entrepreneur, the doctor, a lawyer, whatever it is, I did my job.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, because you got to think, those numbers are small. And those numbers, well, let me rephrase that. The window is this small and the numbers are this big.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to get in that window, you know?
And you get to see the kids, go from little kids growing up. Some are going to college right now, Mike. Yeah. So is that the most rewarding thing for you?
Of course. They check on you now.
Yeah.
That's great. Coach, how you doing? I'm all right. How you doing? I just spoke to, shout out to Chris Carter. I just spoke to Carter today.
Shout out to Chris. He was on the Wado podcast all the way from Germany live. Shout out to that legend.
That's my guy right there. I was just on the podcast. I was just on WhatsApp with him. Just politicking with him, man. And just to see him smiling and happy and living out his plan A. Man, and I'm actually going to Germany February to go check him out for a week.
Wow.
So yeah, man, I'm that guy. I go check on you.
One of the two of the best lefties I ever seen. Okay.
Yeah, he's solid. He got it now. He got it.
Would you say, Mike, that your kids that you train, do they train you?
Yeah, of course. That's a great question. Yes. You learn from them. Let's say I had you in a segment and my guys, man, I give you a real story. This happened last week with Coach Miles, this week. And he was saying, hey, Mike, do a hip swivel. I was like, all right. So I did it. He's like, I know you can do it better than that. I was like, nah, that's how I do mine. And he was like, he said, so why? I was like, well, because I like a wide base so I can change out of it. So he showed me his. I was like, oh, that's kind of dope.
Yeah.
So I just made a drill out of it just yesterday. So yeah, I'm a student. If I see how you move and I'm watching how you move, I can make a segment out of how you move, and it's not something it's a gift. I didn't work for that. Well, maybe I did, but not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I can look at how you move and just be like, hey, I can make a drill out of that. And I go home and guess what I'm doing?
That's right. Jotting it down.
So yeah, I do. I learn a lot. You can teach me something by you just speaking, and I can be like, I could turn that into a drill.
Right.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Absolutely.
And now, shout out to Miles, okay? Shout out the whole team. Everybody knows train with Mike, but Mike, how important is the team for you? Very.
I lean on them a lot, and they're special, every one of them. First of all, we don't have an ego on my squad here. We don't. So I'm not a one-man show. I never ever thought I'd be. I never wanted to be. I'm me. You feel me? I'm always going to be me. So when it comes to train with Miles, Dave, our guy Fred, to be honest with you, like, man, they're amazing, bro. Like, they're amazing. The different personalities. I can look over there and watch him training the kid, and I'm just smiling. I'm stealing ideas. Our team is really strong. Shout out to Coach Terry at Tradition Prep. He's a part of our squad. Shout out to UT. He's defensive minded. You'll get to see him. He's solid. That's my bro right there. Dave, Dave, everybody, man. We're all in tune, and we believe in each other. We believe in the process. We work together. Miles sends me videos like almost every other day. Like, yo, check this out. Just off the gram or something. So we're just a learning group.
Right.
We're just and then they'll peep something, they'll show me something, and I'm like, yeah, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? And then, Mike, I put Miles to a drill one day. I was like, yo, Miles, try this drill real quick. He young, man. He gonna work his legs out. He good, man. He young. So Miles, do this drill. And he was like, okay. And we were working on it. And Miles was like, yo, that's dope. And we bounce off each other, man.
Implement it right in.
We
And like as a hooper, we could look back because we've got plenty of teachers, plenty of adults in our life, but there's been a few basketball coaches that really shaped my life. Shout out to Coach Maxons, head coach of Fort Pierce Central. He's the only first person, Mike, that told me, why though? You can make some money off this game. You can change your life off this game, son. And just his passion, I didn't know that existed, especially as the white boy trying to hoop. So coaches like you, Mike, coaches like guys like Dave, Miles, you guys are really making true impact. So I want to ask you, obviously we see what you're doing, Mike. We know you're out here doing it. Who do you do it for?
Who do I do it for? It's a list. My family, number one. Shout out to my three boys, my daughter, Mike, Layla, Madden, and Kaysen. My wife, of course, she's my everything. My grandfather, because I opened this in his honor, because when he passed away, it was one of the hardest. Still is hard. I mean, sometimes I get a little emotional just out the blue.
Right.
I do it for him. I do it for my FTC family. You know what I mean? I do it for just all the kids, man. I mean, it's a list. I do it for everybody, you know?
He does it for you, watching at home. Young hoopers out there coming up, he's doing it for you.
Yeah,
and that's beautiful, Mike. I love when someone passes away and something else starts to guarantee they're still around in their name. So I love that. Last two I got for you, Mike. If you could go back to 16-year-old Mike and tell him where you're at, what you're doing now, would he have believed it?
No way. That Mike was trapped in like the confidence was low, the belief, no trust. No, it would be hard, but reps, he'll believe it.
I haven't found love. Okay, definitely no kids out here.
Okay.
Anybody with kids, I always like to ask, when you had your first child or children in general, but mainly your first child, did life slow down for you or did it speed up, if at all? Roller
coaster, because I wasn't mature. I wasn't mature enough at the time. I was me and my wife. She was my girlfriend at the time. My first kid, I was at Indian River State, and I couldn't go to FAU because I had to. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just tough. Man, I was getting a call from Peru to play professionally. I was doing a lot, but it taught me something. It taught me to be selfless. You know, me and my wife didn't have a rough time. It was more of a, Mike, you got to grow up. So I was battling myself. So what I would tell anybody who's playing basketball right now and you have a kid, look, you can make time for your kid and basketball and you still can be successful. It's not don't feel like your son or your daughter or whoever, maybe you get twins, I don't know, or triplets. Hopefully not, but again, it's a blessing.
You never know. You know
what I'm saying? It's a blessing. But don't allow that to stop you. You put in your time with your family and that time that you say you want to rest. If you want it, then sleep it wouldn't even bother you. You would just do it. You know what I'm saying? You just do it for sure. You know, so yeah.
Mike, I don't know if I know what I want to do, but what do you want to be when you grow up? Unless you're already doing it.
What I want to be when I get a little bit more older, just be there for my kids when they need me. That's it. The aspirations of being wealthy, well, let God bless us with that. But other than that, man, I'm just want to be there for my kids all the time. I want to be accessible. Like I get to you later on. No, let's handle it now.
Yeah.
You know, dad's present. Let's do it. You know.
I love that. I love that, man. Please drop all the socials for the Culture so everybody can go check you guys out. It's only right.
fortheculturesports.org. That's the number. No, that's FOR. Instagram, you have the number 4, the Culture Sports. You got Train with Mike. That's kind of like my page. And on TikTok, you got For the Culture Sports as well. I'm still under construction, but you know we working on that.
Yeah, we worried about game, baby.
Yeah. You know. So yeah, I mean that's us, man. Please check us out. Any questions, man? Don't hesitate. We're here, man. We ain't going anywhere. God's willing, but we're here. We got some stuff that's coming in the making as well, but we got to keep it on.
These guys got a whole league going on. Okay, really training the youth out here, training grown hoopers, professional hoopers.
Sure.
You available for anybody, Mike? It's for the culture, available for anybody.
Anybody. It could be, you could, listen, we train the dude that worked at a barbershop, older guy. We train anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If you got the dream, the fire's still there, we're here with you, man. We're not here to encourage, we're not here to discourage anybody. So, hey, man, listen, you can always hit me in the inbox. I respond back.
Come on, man. Well, I appreciate you so much, Mike. It's been an honor, dog. This is For the Culture CEO. Appreciate you, Mike, as always.
It's all love, man. Shout out to Wado, man, for real.
Love.
That's love, brother. Okay, how did I do?